Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at the angle sum of a triangle. So let's just start with a generic triangle here. Turns out it doesn't matter how weird the triangle looks, you can always perform this trick where you draw a line parallel to the base. Now, we know that these three angles here, I'm just going to call them X, Y, and Z, they have to add up to 180. That's, of course, because they're supplementary. These three angles make up a straight line, and the angle in a straight line is 180. But it turns out this angle and this angle are equal because they're alternate. So I just call this one X. And this angle here is equal to this one because, again, they are alternate. So these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal because they're alternate. We found before, though, X plus Y plus Z equals 180. X plus Y plus Z equals 180 degrees. So that means the angle sum of any triangle is 180 degrees. More precisely, the interior angles, so that's the angles inside the triangle, add to 180. That is true for any triangle, and we can use this to find unknown angles. So let's look at this triangle here. We've got a 90-degree angle and a 56-degree angle. We can use that to find X. Because these three angles need to add up to 180, I can just take away 90 and 56 from 180, and what I'm left with is X. X must be 34 degrees, because 34 plus 56 plus 90 equals 180 degrees, and the angle sum of any triangle is 180 degrees. All right, let's look at this triangle here. You probably think there's not enough information here to find X. So this triangle here has two equal sides. It's isosceles. As we will learn, isosceles triangles have two equal sides, but they also have two equal angles. The two equal angles are here. It's always where the equal sides meet the non-equal side. So this angle here must be 55 degrees because the triangle's isosceles. So here, X will just be 180 minus 55 minus 55, and that leaves us 70 degrees. X must be 70 degrees because 70 plus 55 is 180. So let's look at this one here. This is another isosceles triangle. So two equal sides, where those equal sides meet the non-equal side, those two angles are always equal. I'm going to put this as X. So these two are equal. If this is 30, so too this is 30. So how do we find X now? We've got two unknown angles. Well, if I subtract 28 from 180, I get 152. What have I actually found here? Well, I've found that these two angles must add to 152 degrees. If they're equal, then each of them is just going to be 152 divided by 2. So here, X is 76 degrees, and note that 76 plus 76 plus 28 equals 180. All right, let's look at a harder kind of question. So this one's a little more challenging because it requires us to implement what we learned about angles in parallel lines. So we have a 90 and a 32-degree angle. What would X be? Well, the problem is this 32-degree angle is not an interior angle of a triangle. It's not inside the triangle. But using what we learned about angles in parallel lines, we know these two angles are equal. This angle here must be 32 degrees. The reason is that they are alternate. They make the Z shape. So now we've got two angles inside a triangle, so we can easily figure out the third. So because the angles inside any triangle add up to 180, we can just subtract 32 and 90 from 180, and we're left with 58 degrees. Notice that 58 plus these two angles needs to equal 180 because they're co-interior. So that's a way we can check our answer. All right, we've looked at the interior angles of a triangle. Let's now look at the exterior angles of a triangle. So whereas the interior angles of a triangle are inside the triangle, the exterior angle is this angle here outside the triangle. It's the angle formed when one of the side lengths of the triangle is extended, like it is here. So let's just say, for example, this angle here was 120 degrees. Well, obviously, this angle would have to be 60 degrees. The reason is that they're supplementary. These two angles have to add to 180 because they're supplementary. But this angle needs to add with these two angles to get to 180. So it turns out that this angle here and this angle here, they must also add to 120 because 120 plus 60 is 180. So this will work for any triangle, this logic. What we found out is that these two angles must add up to this angle here. And that's what this complicated sentence here says. The exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite two interior angles. These two angles are interior because they're inside the triangle, and they're opposite this 120 degrees, or facing it. So here, the angle I've marked with a dot plus the angle I've marked with a cross, they must add to 120 degrees. So that gives us a quick way to find unknown angles. So if we look at this question here, x is an exterior angle. It's equal to the sum of the opposite two interior angles. So here, x, the exterior angle, is just 60 plus 60, or 120 degrees. So let's look at this question here. So 162 degrees is the exterior angle of the triangle. So it's equal to the sum of the two interior angles that are opposite. So here, x plus 105, the opposite two interior angles, must add up to the exterior angle. So we're just saying, what do you add to 105 to get 162? And of course, it's 57 degrees. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. It's been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.